from the Indonesian broadcast. He made a video analyzing on the heroes that can actually counter Balman in terms of neutral objective control, and Dyroth can do exactly that. His Abyssum Strike is basically kind of the same as the lethal counter. When it comes down to neutral objective control, it's going to be even, equal. And RRQ go for Yu Zhong, which I'm sorry to say, I personally don't really like up against a Melissa with Go Away.
It seems like they're just securing a lot of ways to force EVOS Legends into weird situations. They can force them to back away with the Black Dragon form, with the Cult Altar, and with the lethal counter as well, essentially. So you can reposition EVOS all you want, but do you have enough damage later on? That will be the main question here. So much tankiness, so much sustain. If they can jump on the Melissa though, that could be game over for EVOS.
This is going to require a lot of discipline from the Melissa, right? The trigger discipline on that ultimate, because there are a lot of members from the side of RRQ Hoshi that could possibly trigger this out. And if she doesn't use it in the correct opportunity, she is a huge target.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, both of the drafts have been set. Dreams on this Kadita still sitting at a 100% win rate. We're gonna dive straight into game number 1 of the El Clasico. Playoffs for EVOS, or for upper brackets and playoffs, has resumed.
We're gonna see what happens here. How is the Kadita going to fall into place in the composition of EVOS Legends? It does give them a little bit of pick-off potential, especially in this early game, being able to roam around the map rather quick, whereas Vin on the Atlas is going to be reliant on that level for Power Spike. But the talent prediction by Axe shows that both of the main casters in the Indo as well as the English disc have opted for EVOS's composition.
Yeah.
We saw this exact pattern in the previous match, I believe. I don't remember which one though.
Geek fam.
That is interesting. Well, for both teams right now, they're still contesting as much as possible, but of course, RRQ Hoshi have a bit of an edge. They have strong laners in both lanes, and the roam potential, man, especially in level 4, I think they're going to be a lot more aggressive.
Let's see though, Jin already jumping in, Abyssum Strike there, Vin taken down, first blood secured by Jin, but Albert looking for compensation, jumps in with a lethal counter, and that's EVOS Legends taking the first kill of the game with no trades.
But remember, this is going to hinder the rotations from Jin, so a little win for RRQ Hoshi in that regard, as they are going to put their focus onto the gold buff as well as a neutral objective in that turtle.
EVOS just stepping on the pedal once they reach level 4, not letting RRQ Hoshi get their own ultimates before engaging there. So that's already a very good play from the side of EVOS Legends. RRQ Hoshi were just a bit off guard, but now, without still the beta links available on Vin, I think EVOS Legends can get this turtle without any contest.
This is the combo I mentioned, Jin with the Abyssum Strike and the Retribution. It's basically the same as the Balman. That's why I actually went for EVOS Legends. I feel like right now, they have a pretty dynamic draft, and in the gold lane, this is what I expect from this matchup. Melissa should have a little bit of an edge going up against a Bruno when it comes down to just all-ins, right? But Bruno can definitely win in the trade game, and I think that's what we're seeing right here. Skylar is able to actually create a lot of pressure in that gold lane so far.
Take a look at the emblems. Demon Slayer still for Albert, and Jin, despite most likely going for these catches, he does have the killing spree, just in case he wants to get very, very aggressive, like now.
Uh-oh, Vin caught again, goes for fatal links onto Jin, but there's no follow-up. Here he walks out of the Cult Ultra range. R7 jumps in with a Black Dragon form, go away placed, and that's also a reason why I actually prefer EVOS Legends' draft. I didn't like that Yu Zhong pick.
It's starting to show, right? The initial aggression that RRQ Hoshi had seems to be hindered as Dreams goes in for a pick onto R7. It is still very earlier on in the game, but on the top side, Skylar gets taken down there.
And how is he so low? Again, Melissa, the poke coming in is just insane. He actually used the Inspire as well, so those all-ins just doing so much for EVOS Legends as Jin comes in. Holy moly, that's a lot of damage, man.
That Dyroth pick, man, he's already 3-0 right now. And it's just a lot of burst damage, and that's what RRQ Hoshi is struggling to deal with. Everyone gets chipped down, they get kind of low, and then out of nowhere, that's the kind of burst damage that Jin can provide. So right now, in the early game, EVOS Legends are making full advantage of their crowd control, of their burst potential, But we'll have to see. I think in the mid-game will be a critical moment. Can they maintain the control? Can they outmaneuver RRQ Hoshi at every turn?
That's going to be the question here. 2,000 gold currently for EVOS Legends. We do see that the turtle has already made its appearance in the gold. But now, RRQ Hoshi first to set up for this turtle.
Yeah, RRQ should have this for free. EVOS Legends opted to just give it over because RRQ have the better setup for now. But we'll have to see. 2,000 gold lead already for EVOS. Vin, though, gotta be careful. Dreams has the Petrify. Sotujin jumps onto him. This is Strike as well, taking a whole lot of damage onto Vin. Even with the Fatal Links, he's not able to survive. R7 all the way from the bottom side comes in with the Black Dragon form. Taz still has the Flicker to get out. And RRQ not really getting these good, efficient rotations so far.
And as you're mentioning, Vin on the Atlas, you have good team fight setup, but you do not have good takeoff potential. So EVOS Legends, the big burst pickoff potential. In long team fights though, I think there's potential for both teams to do well, and that's not a good thing. Especially because technically, on the side of EVOS Legends, they have an assassin that can really just destroy Skylar if you don't respect the potential.
Let's see as well here in the game. In that gold lane, man, Melissa is already getting a lot of gold. You can see the disparity here from both of the gold laners. If Bruno falls behind, it's not really going to be good here up against this kind of comp.
And you can see that Sesujin already with the Hunter Strike, so very aggressive composition for sure. And R7, he's trying to just mix and match, getting a bit of resistances and also getting some damage so that he's not completely irrelevant. But look at EVOS, they are waiting for an opportunity and Albert is visible.
3 seconds left on the clock for the next turtle to spawn, and you can see RRQ Hoshi already sniffing out team members, but Dreams forced to use that, but Vin goes in!
Oh, beautiful engage by Vin here, but Cold Ulcer placed down now. It's going to be Sotujin who's looking for the turtle. Petrify comes in, R7 as well! The go away did not do anything! R7's going mad, Taz taking low, Vin wanted to go for the dive. A beautiful play by RRQ. Taking a gold lead, not just back yet, but it's equalizing it.
Ooh. It's just so difficult, man. RRQ Hoshi, they're able to force Dreams to use his ultimate really early on, and it is no longer a factor. Knowing that, they saw Sesujin, they jump on the opportunity, and as we mentioned, Vin, no hesitation, uses that teamfight ultimate for one person. That is how valuable Sesujin is right now. 2 turrets getting taken by RRQ Hoshi.
Yeah, the members from RRQ Hoshi, they're being very active in this game. You see R7 not hesitating whatsoever, looking for the conversion once again on those turrets. And it's going to be 2-to-1 turrets for the moment for RRQ Hoshi as EVOS Legends. Maybe they're looking for another pick, because if they force a 5v5, it does seem a little bit difficult at this point. And Albert taking away the buff from EVOS Legends.
Man, you can see, right? EVOS, it really feels weird in that fight. They shouldn't have taken that kind of fight. With their composition, they are reliant on Taz taking the Cult Altar. He did not have the Cult Altar that time, and they forced it. RRQ can punish every little mistake you make, and EVOS needs to be wary here, because if RRQ gets that gold lead going, it's very hard to take it back from them.
Right now you saw R7 maybe preparing a trap for anyone clearing the lane. Unfortunately, nobody crossed through that lane bush, so he's forced to show himself, but the conceal play coming in. Vin spots it though.
Goes for the perfect match just to dodge away from the breath of the ocean as well.
Continues.
Oh my god, wait, what's going on?
What is going on?
What's going on? 4 for 0. EVOS look for another. Albert gonna get taken down. He gets a lethal counter. He jumps out, but Pendragon locks him in place. We jump in straight to this. 4 for 2 for EVOS Legends.
Only Clay left to defend this mid-side turret, and I don't think it is going to be enough. The kill pressure from Taz, Pendragon, and Dreams alone is enough to put him back in his place, to zone him away, as Pendragon now is going to try and convert this by taking away the blue buff, but I guess he does not commit onto that.
What the heck happened there? We were talking about how RRQ Hoshi are finally finding success, how they can use the objectives finally, but EVOS Legends out of nowhere, they can pick up, what, a triple kill for Setsujin in that fight?
That's a massive pickup for EVOS Legends now, right? Because Albert was able to use the pathing so well, so efficiently to get a gold lead and an XP lead on Setsujin. Now that all just... it's gone.
It's gone, and R7 is on the bottom side as well, so EVOS Legends pressuring for the Lord, and they have the pickup potential. Dreams is looking for an opportunity here because Vin, he is still very squishy at this stage in the game. Lord and half HP, but RRQ, they're going for it.
Perfect match with the concealed play. Dreams comes in with the Breath of the Ocean. He's going to be kicked back. He doesn't get the rough waves. Vin goes in for the fatal lane. Sutsujin jumps, and again, EVOS fight without a cult altar. It's a massive blunder again for EVOS as RRQ take control of the Lord. They keep going for these fights.
And at this stage, even the Melissa doesn't really have much to say. We saw that she was able to pop off her ultimate, her go away, but R7 with the Black Dragon form was able to zone her away, and that was enough for RRQ Hoshi to take back the pressure. But now they have to be careful. They need to be disciplined when it comes down to that wave management because that bottom side is pushing in favor for EVOS Legends.
Looking at the items here, as all of course you would expect, Dreams has been building damage, so he cannot be the first guy to just walk at RRQ like that. They'll take him out. Oh, that is so unfortunate. Sutsujin now has a Brute Force Breastplate to try and give him a bit more movement speed, a bit more physical defense. But that's the problem right here, right? Due to the composition, they have to try and group and fight with a Cult Altar, or they can get zoned away by Yutong with the Black Dragon form. So EVOS Legends, after a great fight, they just suddenly lose all control.
Like Vin doesn't really need to hit those fatal links. Neither does Yuzong with the Black Dragon form, right? It's enough to actually push and zone the members of EVOS Legends, realizing the only Purify that EVOS Legends has is on Pendragon. Taz is going to be susceptible, Clover is going to be susceptible. And we'll see when we see that start to pan through, the pressure, the dominance in the lanes all into for RRQ Hoshi, now sitting at a 2,000 gold lead.
And you know why that's the case? Again, EVOS Legends need that Cult Altar. There's no other ultimate that Taz can take that can really help this team. Obviously, there's a little bit of a cooldown there, so they can't just be going for these fights constantly, right? They need to wait for the perfect time. Now, though, with RRQ having this lead, map pressure as well, are they going to get the same opening they had in the early stage of the game, or just there in the mid stage?
Exactly, and they have no solution to the Black Dragon form as well. It's an old, true and tried strategy. When the objective is up, when the contesting is happening, you use the Black Dragon form, and just like that, the backline needs to back away. So for EVOS Legends, even if you get the Cult Altar, can you deal with that as well at the same time? So a multifaceted approach from RRQ Hoshi in this mid game, and it's been working great. It seems like they were really on the back foot, but in just a split second, they just flipped the gold advantage towards their side.
On your point there, Miracle, about the Cult Altar for EVOS Legends, acknowledge the fact that this is not the first time that Clay has used the Theramis into someone using the Valentina, and he has been very, very good at positioning to deny that option for Taz to take. So perhaps this is something that RRQ Hoshi have already picked up once again with this game against EVOS Legends. And let's just keep an eye out for the positioning of Clay, because he has been able to deny...
Dreams.
Oh no!
Oh
Oh
There you
my
go.
goodness.
Who can face check, man? We said this already. Nobody is tanky enough. Maybe Pendragon, but then who is going to match the side pressure from R7? They're just way too squishy. Anyone that gets picked up will get bursted down instantly.
Man, I don't feel like he should have, again though, but RRQ, that was brilliant positioning now. Taz took away the fatal links here.
What?
And, okay, he's going to have to make a massive play at this point. He has the flicker to do so. Pendragon jumps in with the immobility. Is able to get someone, but in the back lines, look at R7 dealing so much. Pendragon going to be zoned away now as the Cult Ulcer comes in. R7 gets the HP back, and look at Clover. He's low. Sutsujin jumps in. Taj with a massive fatal links. It works out in the end. It turns it around. Vin jumps in with the fatal links. RRQ took a fight after the Lord that they have secured. EVOS are looking for some compensation, a trade now into the tier 2.
They actually started to equalize in terms of that gold as well here. Only leading by 600. The Lord is marching on the bottom side, but it is going to be Clover going there, being able to buy a lot of time and even take it down too. EVOS Legends now actually have the gold lead, 100, 200, 300 to their name.
This game has been so floppy, man. And again, I feel like the game has been so floppy because they've been overcommitting both of these teams.
True. I mean, they have the Lord done already. They do see that Taz has the Fatal Links as well, and yet they go for the big fight. They clump up at a choke point, and they get punished for it. So I'm not sure what to make out of this. Both teams just taking very insane risks. And as things go on like this, the team with the better late game will have an advantage, I think.
RRQ Hoshi, they gave Taz the opportunity to get that fatal links, and in the end, that risk did not help them at all. And we can see already a Divine Glaive being taken for EVOS Legends, and the damage is gonna start to hurt.
Well, Holy Crystal is completed for Taz as well, so that's already one issue to deal with. But for Clover, with the Wind of Nature here, he has a chance to outplay the bulk of the damage coming in from RRQ Hoshi, because the only magical source is going to be Clay on the Faramis, and Clay will not be anywhere near him unless RRQ Hoshi goes for the really clump of team fights, but that in itself could be a mistake that EVOS can take advantage of.
Again.
900 gold lead here, Miracle.
Yeah, take a look at the Bruno, right? I mean, with those items, you're going to deal so much, and he's already building into a Melphic Roar now. It should be a Melphic Roar, unless he wants to go crazy with the BOD. I don't think it's going to happen, though. Melphic Roar a bit better here, up against a little bit of physical defense that Pendragon has. He can just melt through it. Clay has actually opted to go for the NOD as well. So you can see the utility build as well, perhaps for Clay. You guys right now, go ahead and get yourself the limited edition Head and Shoulders in your nearest mini market or e-commerce website, because you guys need to wipe out that dandruff. Stay fresh, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, stay fresh and keep your eyes on this game, because it's been so volatile, man. It's been going back and forth between EVOS Legends and RRQ Hoshi. And maybe it's going to come down to which team can play the side lanes, the macro play better, right? Because it's all about setup. When teams are this dominant, when teams are this high level, the setup will be so important. And now Sutsujin has an Immortal, so going for that pickup might not be enough to just make sure that he won't be a nuisance in that fight. Clover with the Malefic Roar will do a lot of damage to the beefier members as well.
Alright, EVOS Legends able to secure this position. Taz goes for the Fatal Links again. Clay has been positioning out of vision from Taz so that he can't steal the ultimate.
Dreams!
And now Dreams jumps in on towards Clay, and that's a massive pick off. Dreams, he basically secured the Lord for free for EVOS Legends now. And now EVOS, they're on the hunt with the Lord slain. This is going to be an enhanced one, presented to you by Samsung Galaxy A series.
30 seconds on the death timer for Clay. Is it going to be enough time for them to regroup as 5? You can see that the Melissa already pushing that top side, trying to make all 3 lanes collapse at the same time. And this is the moment that EVOS Legends needed. This is the moment that they have been waiting for to turn it back around. RRQ Hoshi, they still need to respect the pickup potential that Dreams has.
That's crazy, man. I don't know what the plan was for Clay. Flank with the Faramis, because your job is to call altar and the height of the fight anyway. So I wasn't sure why he was trying to go aggressively. And now with the Lord, what can EVOS Legends get? They make a play for the base turret. They might get it.
Only one way pushing in though. Pendragon jumping all the way deep, actually soaking a lot of damage, but will be caught on the lethal counter. Sutsujin as well, gonna be caught. Taz again, stealing with a Fatal Link. Sutsujin is gonna be taken down here as Clover pops to go away. Able to kite back, but look at the damage coming in from Skylar. Clover kiting back once again. Taz with the Fatal Links, a bit too late, but Dreams with the rough wave. Taz and Dreams versus the world. R7 stopping that from happening. Taz, the solid player, flickers forward. Not able to finish Pin off. R7 going mad onto that back line. R7 hunting them down, shutting him down. It's another defense for RRQ.
Worth it trades for RRQ Hoshi as well, and that was nearly EVOS Legends teamfight to win. Ooh. What was that play by Taz with the Fatal Links comboed with Dreams on the Kadita? That was so beautiful. Unfortunately, towards the end, R7 was able to find more kills on the board, looking for more compensation on the board, and that is going to be a successful defense by RRQ Hoshi. As now we're going to take a look at the instant replay here by the Samsung Galaxy A series.
Oh, go back from it, back to the game right here. And just like that, it's back to equal. It all comes down to who has the better chance in the fight. And I think it's all about who can get rid of the gold laner first. Because both Skylar and Clover, they do an insane amount of damage right now. And if they don't get taken out, you can see that EVOS Legends, despite having such success, without Clover around, no one can DPS R7 enough to burst through the sustain. And vice versa. I think for RRQ Hoshi, they can't win without Skylar just outputting that insane amount of damage. He is already so fed, he has so many items. He needs to play a bit more safely though, I think.
Yeah, and honestly, looking at it just now, I feel like the trade wasn't worth it for RRQ still. They defend, sure. They live to see another day, but EVOS Legends definitely came out of that team fight with a better trade. They lost more members, but they got 2 base turrets.
Yep.
2 base turrets that will never respawn. So that's 2 waves that's constantly going to be slow pushing into RRQ if they don't deal with it. Those are 2 waves that RRQ will have to micromanage right as the Evolved Lord spawns in the 20th minute of the game.
They have to be careful though. They have to be aware of Dreams now because just a few seconds ago we saw that Dreams was already looking and positioning for a flank, just like he is trying to do right now. They're going to try and force RRQ Hoshi to make the same mistake as they did a few minutes ago as EVOS Legends first to the Lord.
Pendragon's doing so much right now. Able to zone RRQ away from the from the Lord right now. But a perfect match will come through. Pause again, stealing away the Fatal Links. Pendragon jumps in with the Falling Star Moon onto Skylar, but will lose half of his HP. EVOS Legends decide to reset. Dreams looking for the flank again. Oof. Albert this time, he knows that Dreams has been looking for this, so he just reads it out, opening up the map. Vin again, opening up the map for his team, spots Taz, who can't really go for the cheeky engage once again though. But look at Pendragon. He took so much HP away from Skylar. He's doing so much. Black Dragon form popped in by R7, trying to look for an opening. Pendragon again in midst of it all, gonna be caught. Lethal counter popped in to get everything, but he gets the winner Truncheon in time. He's able to buy still a lot of time, but the Cult Ulcer comes in again. Skylar puts up the kill. That's giving the Cult Ulcer, the Fatal Links combined with the Furious Dive. It's a wild bow combo, but Jin, how was he able to steal it in the midst though? Look at the base, the minion waves are crashing in. Dreams able to buy some time, the minion waves crashing onto the base. It is gonna be a lot of damage placed onto them, but Skylar doesn't want to let that happen. He goes, he kills Dreams. R7 is able to recall to clear it out, but the Evolved Lord is now spawning, and it's only Skylar, R7, and Vin. Taz, can he use this? Can he actually look for the end?
We'll see. I mean, he went for two versus how many people and actually came out on top, but without anyone to follow, as it only takes one moment in the game for things to completely flip here.
Well, that's why these games are so intense, man. At any moment, right? It's just so volatile. And maybe EVOS Legends can also draw a conclusion. Maybe we can just dance around, waste time from RRQ Hoshi, stop the recalls, and end the game, because RRQ, their wave management has not been on point at all.
No.
At every point, EVOS Legends are the ones always to the Lord first. R7 constantly stuck dealing with the side lanes, and right there, the minions almost ended. So it is an uncharacteristic performance completely by RRQ Hoshi.
And that's a very interesting thought, right? Because usually when we talk about EVOS Legends, one thing that a lot of teams have been able to exploit when they are up against EVOS is the wave manipulation. BTR, Aura Fire, even Geek Fam. That's how they were able to beat EVOS Legends, getting the proper setup better than EVOS. This time, RRQ, a team that we've all known to be just so solid in terms of that wave manipulation, has been disregarding it.
I don't know. There might be a special plan, but it's a 50-50 in the real-time win probability by the Samsung Galaxy A series.
Is it though?
Oh, is it?
I mean, I guess it balances out. EVOS Legends have more map pressure.
Oh, there we go. It's just moving.
Yeah, and for RRQ, they have a gold lead, right? But as the game progresses, this gold lead will amount to nothing. Everyone will have full items.
Exactly.
You're right. As we're going to see a concealed play happening. They don't get anyone just yet. Pendragon is going to be sniffed out, though, and zoned away. In this moment of the game, there isn't anything to contest, but they do have 30 seconds to start to think about the setups. How are they going to do it? You can see R7 already trying to clear that bottom side, but Pendragon very quick to pick up on this.
I think Pendragon is one of the main win conditions for EVOS Legends. He serves as the primary front line, and in those setup situations, he was such a nuisance to the members of RRQ Hoshi. Of course, as the game goes on, the more he will have items, but the more items RRQ Hoshi will have in their hands as well, so it might not be as easy the next time around. Lord now spawning, and R7 is the one with the wave control advantage.
Again, this is something that we have to see, the setup game, right? It's basically a battle of chess at this point. Who can set up better? Who can actually force those errors to be made by teams?
Oh, this is so scary.
Look at Dreams,
EVOS
man.
Legends already clearing that top side. And yeah, I was about to mention as well the positioning from Dreams. Skylar needs to be very, very careful. And so does Clay at this point.
I think the last thing EVOS wants to do is fight. I think the last thing that both teams want to do is fight in a choke point, I think. For both teams, I guess you can say both teams have a combo, right? But I think it's just equally dangerous. If Taz is able to take a Cult Altar, it's equalized. If he takes the Fatal Links, then Dreams can come in with a huge burst damage and followed up by Tsujins as well. So, I don't know. I think they have to be very careful scouting out and making sure that no one gets past them undetected, because that will be a huge issue that can be exploited from both these teams.
Albert has the immortality. Look at the damage coming in from both Taz and Clover. That penetration doing work. And now Albert's taken low. I think he does have the Sky Guardian helmet, so he will be able to sustain back up with the regen. But EVOS Legends have this opening constantly. Remember, 3 base turrets means the 3 waves will be constantly slow pushing towards RRQ. Quick looking for the conceal though. Okay.
Ooh, the bottom side already pushing here, and that's going to force R7 there, giving them a man advantage. This is EVOS Legends' game to win at this point, but RRQ Hoshi, it seems like they're still dancing around. They don't want to commit onto that. I think that is wise, but this is going to be a free lord for EVOS Legends if they don't go for this.
Yeah, again, I think EVOS Legends, they're a bit gun-shy here constantly. They're very afraid of what this Wombo combo can do. Pendragon taking a whole lot right there. Stampede and Perfect Match connecting onto him. But with the Lord taken, the 26,000 HP, RRQ will be forced to respond this time. Pendragon again getting brought back. But then, oh my goodness! He's able to find so many! Clover's immortality popped in, the Cult Altar placed. RRQ with one moment, they're able to again get the grasp onto the game. A killing spree picked up for Skylar, and Albert goes in for the Evolved Lord. 3 members, 60 seconds on the death timers.
I don't know why EVOS Legends didn't commit onto that. Now it's RRQ Hoshi's game to win. Tsujin gonna be taken very low.
With the rough waves, what in the world? My goodness, Tsujin able to survive as well. Did they buy enough time? I unfortunately think it's not enough. Play 20 seconds. A turn that can they end?
I don't know. 3-4-1 taken down here. So for the moment, the Lord is going to be going that bottom side, but Albert very aggressive onto Dreams and Tsujin.
Coming in again, Skylar onto the base. It looks inevitable. EVOS Legends will lose out in game number 1 after the turn. After turn after turn, constantly back and forth. RRQ come out victorious in game number 1.
That was such a close game. And it came down to how decisive RRQ Hoshi was. They found an opportunity.
Not in terms of marksmen, in terms of mages. Barca, Lunox, Harith, but we've never seen it. Now, I don't know if EVOS Legends were trying to save this for the playoffs, but now it's time, right? To show everything you've got. It's make it or break it, and RRQ, they went for a Lancelot. This is a solid pick up against so much engage, so much CC. You want to have that invulnerability. You want to have that mobility as well. Up against the Harith though, we'll see how it plays. Harith is going to bring the Purify, in my opinion, right here. And remember, just as a fact, EVOS Legends on the back of their victories, usually when they win trophies, it's on the back of the Harith. M1, Season 7, Season 4.
Wow, there's some history there, but I really fear for EVOS because they are very, very squishy. They might have the same problem they had in the first game, and now the only real tanky person could most likely be the Paquito, not even the Esmeralda. So we'll see how aggressive can EVOS get in the early game. If they're able to take control, I think it's the same story. Once the Lord is in the picture, RRQ will have more control, but of course anything can happen before that point of the game.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to jump into the land of Dawn. The last hope for EVOS Legends on their M1 skin. Harith, will it bring them to glory with the Krite change in the mid lane as well?
I love how poetic this game has just become and how ironic it is as we are gonna see how this all pans out here. It does, you're right, Clover as well as Krite both on the Purifies. They are going to start respecting the outcome that RRQ Hoshi can definitely have with the Atlas once again in the hands of Vin as Skylar uses that emote.
Well, in the side lane though, R7 is going to have a tough time going up against the Dairoth. It's in the hands of Pendragon though, so Sutsujin is the Paquito in the jungle with the killing spree, so he is going for blood. And for Albert, he's going with the Demon Slayer, so still having a lot of potential. This is the same situation. There's always a sandwich when the main caster casts their vote.
Yeah, well, for me, you know, in game one, I actually preferred EVOS Legends this draft. I thought they would be able to have a little bit more dynamic to play with, more win conditions. But in game two, at this point, it's the last hope for EVOS, right? If they lose with their signature Herod, with Krite stepping in, it's over.
We'll see how this pans out. Dreams already trying to put pressure onto RRQ Hoshi. Unfortunately, for the moment, they still have not been able to get anything on the board. But we see that Vin has forced the flicker earlier on, right before the turtle fight in that bottom side.
For now, I think EVOS Legends still has the control. They have more burst damage potential, and RRQ, they'll be waiting for later on. If Albert doesn't get shut down though, he'll be able to have a lot of targets, but now Vin is the one getting pummeled.
2 games in a row, it's Sutsujin getting the first blood onto Vin. I don't know what Sutsujin has against Vin personally, man, but he always seems to be able to get that first blood. Even back then in the El Clasico, first time around, Sutsujin first onto the turtle. RRQ with no response just yet. It seems like EVOS Legends will be able to pick this up, but look at that. Albert jumping in, goes in for the Retribution, will be able to find it again with the style as Cult Ulcer is going to be placed there. It's going to be R7 picking up the kill. Pendragon taken low, Krite in the midst of it all. Doesn't have the black shoes anymore. Will fall as well to the hands of RRQ Hoshi.
2 members taken down as RRQ Hoshi once again with the upper hand. We do see Skylar going 1v1 against Clover.
Oh, the
but
punish
now
though.
He's gonna get taken down, and that is another pickup on the board for RRQ Hoshi, solidifying their gold lead to 2,000.
They go for burst damage composition against a Faramis. This is exactly what the new cult, well, I call it the new cult altar, but without an abundance of HP, it just nullifies a lot of burst potential, and that is exactly what EVOS Legends need to do for their win condition. So I don't know about this. Lilia is the only real threat, I feel like, for RRQ Hoshi, but they have assassins on their team, so Krite is going to have a very difficult time trying to output that damage without being bursted down.
But honestly, what do you guys think about the Harith and the Beatrix matchup in that gold lane?
I honestly feel like it's a stalemate. Both of these members are going to be able to farm all right. What Harith needs to do is look for all-ins once he gets level 4, but with RRQ's mid lane pressure, I don't see that happening. I don't see the Harith able to go for those all-ins.
He did try to go for all-in earlier, but it was under the turret first of all, and then he got punished by the roam, so it's just a tough spot here as RRQ. They're looking for a dive most likely, but no, they make a play in the middle side.
Oh, what's going on? Bottom side actually with Pendragon. Dreams is able to find a kill, a good trade on the board as they notice RRQ rotated up top. Pendragon getting a little bit of gold there from the turret. And for Albert, just jumps in, trying to zone him away. We'll be able to pick up the XP as well. Because now we're going to slow down the tempo because RRQ, they're not really looking for anything too crazy. Clover, whoa, very aggressive play. Has the Purify, has dished out a lot of damage onto Skylar. That's actually a really good amount of damage placed in by Clover on the M1 skin.
EVOS Legends, they don't have a lot of their resources though coming into this fight, so RRQ Hoshi, they do have the better chance of securing this turtle.
Let's see, RRQ better set up. Albert picking up the Retribution, and look at that. Krite able to get out with the Purify and the black shoes, but it's still going to be Sutsujin taken out.
1,600 gold lead for RRQ Hoshi, really solidifying their control in game number 2. Just like you guys can grab food using the grab discount, 90%, scan the QR code to get your 90% discount. As back in the game here, doesn't seem like Clover is having too much of a good time.
Right, Beatrix is just way too flexible, so depending on what you're trying to do, Beatrix can select a different weapon and try and match what you're doing here. So with the Zaman Force being popped up, all Skylar has to do is back away and poke again at him with the Renner. So it's very difficult, but RRQ Hoshi, be careful about the EXP lane right here. That is where EVOS Legends is putting a lot of their attention at.
they have to shut him down. We all know how much damage he can actually do if he snowballs. Right now, he is behind, and you saw how much damage he was able to do with just one Zaman Force. And I think RRQ are making the right decision. Playing around the beat extreme though. Going in again, R7 not having a good time at all on that bottom side. EVOS are doing exactly what RRQ are doing towards Clover.
Mirror plays for both teams right now, and right now we can see that R7 already taken down twice in a row. But oh my god!
Right, has the black shoes. Can get out. It's very scary because Skylar has a BOD now. I think if he had it just now, it would have been a bit scary, man.
Only if he had the right weapons, or
Wesker.
there was a bit of a miscommunication there, because I didn't quite see the ultimate get popped up, but with a BOD, there's going to be a lot of damage from now on. But of course, Calamity Reaver competed for Clover as well, so he will need to be focused down in these bigger fights. And Albert is still going for the War Axe, getting a bit more stacks, a bit more movement speed. He likes this playstyle a lot more.
Well, Clover already going to go with the Zaman Force onto the turret. This is what you want to expect for this pick, but the waves were cleared out. Now, top side though, Dreams again with the dive, looking for it. R7 pops the sprint, no Petrify for Dreams, so there's not going to be that kill pressure that they usually have in though. Where are they going to go in onto Krite? Maybe trying to force out that Purify. A good snipe, almost taking down Krite. Skylar on point as usual, but it will just be another opening for RRQ to look for the neutral objective.
Wow. Right now the side lanes very much favor EVOS Legends, but as a result, they're really neglecting their mid laner. And Krite, he is still level with Clay, but later on, he needs a lot more resources to be able to output that damage, melt through the front line. So maybe EVOS needs to start giving him some attention as well.
EVOS Legends, though, they're not standing idly by here. They are focusing in that top side, able to get that third tier as well. Looking for the second even, as all three members are grouping up, trying to punish R7 once again. It's interesting, right? They haven't been able to shut down Skylar, and that's quite scary. Leave Skylar alone, you blink a few times, and suddenly he does so much damage. We even saw how much damage the Renner had on the Lilia, even this earlier on in the game.
I guess the idea is with the burst damage, they want to make sure that anyone they jump on can get taken out. If R7 gets the items, it's going to be difficult, but Dreams gets spotted.
Oh my god, a very good read there. Albert just went for the Phantom Execution there. Skylar trying to go for a cheeky poke, but RRQ, they've used up 3 ultimates there. So, my god, Albert does a lot of damage onto Dreams. But yeah, there's not really going to be much they can do right now, and they don't really need to take these fights. Waiting for the neutral objective, next one to spawn.
Top side is still pushing though, and that's quite scary. They might want to try and clear that away first. We did see in game number 1 that the wave manipulation was lacking, but Pendragon here caught in a bad situation.
Yeah, that's going to be a pick off for RRQ again. Pendragon. There was no pressure on the map, but he still stayed on the bottom side. A little bit of an overcommitment, but so Tsujin, is he going to go for this? He does, goes in for Clay, has the cult alter, goes, and he's able to assassinate Clay. But in the mid lane, Dreams as well, falling to the hands of Albert. So Tsujin trying to run away. Skylar has the snipes! Boom! Headshot, Skylar picks up the kill. Albert jumping onto Krite, who has the Purify and the black shoes, but he's just going to opt for the purple buff. Skylar picking up the turret down below. With R7 now, they can convert on the next neutral objective.
3,000 gold lane, but remember, they have to be careful with the waves. It's still crashing in favor for EVOS Legends in that top side. RRQ Hoshi though, because of the man advantage, because of the momentum that they receive from those kills, they are going to be able to get this Lord without contest from EVOS Legends.
All the neutral objectives so far have been controlled by RRQ, and EVOS Legends have, well, the ones that they have been able to contest for, it hasn't worked out for them.
I think they're going to be forced to use one of the big, the big pickup potentials to try and take out Vin on that Atlas. They don't have the same kind of tankiness to try and look for info to scout out the area, so they need to try and delete him and get, get equal that way instead, because otherwise, it's all Vin just walking ahead and pushing everyone from EVOS Legends back. In the back line, though, we do see that Dreams, he's waiting for a very specific moment. It might pay off here, but oof.
Oh no, Sutsujin caught out. Oh my god, immobilized, instantly knocked up. Sutsujin, a bit too greedy with that flank. There was no one in position, even if he was able to find a knockout strike. Unfortunate for the jungler for EVOS Legends. RRQ find another free pickoff.
Oof. Look at Skylar scouting away
Yeah.
behind him, with knowing that Dreams could be lurking around the corner. Right now, R7 is escorting the Lord towards the bottom side, and RRQ will be predictably there. So Dreams, this is his chance to make something happen, but of course in the back line, oh, it comes with the conceal though.
Uh-oh, Skylar gonna be caught. Rough Waves popped in, but the Cold Altar as well by Clay. And a snipe to add insult to injury. Skylar able to dish out more damage to Dreams than Dreams can onto him.
Have
But
to be
top
careful.
side, oh, Pendragon.
Exactly.
He's been busy up top. Now he might actually be able to take a little bit of HP, but no, he's not gonna overcommit this time. He's gonna back off. RRQ decide to recall as well. At least EVOS this time are able to find a little bit of that trade up top.
They're trying to alleviate a little bit of pressure at least, right, in the top side. But as it stands, RRQ Hoshi still with a 4,400 gold lead.
And the tankiness coming in from Vin is just solid right now. And take Kuras to deal with the Direwolf and the Paquito, and of course the Radiant Armor to deal with the multiple instances coming in from the Kadita and the Lilia. So it's really very solid, and EVOS, they'll be forced to try and move around Vin, or they just have to try and focus Vin down before anything can happen, lest they get caught in a huge Fatal Links. We've seen how that ended in the previous game. Oh.
Here though, you know, let's take a look at the items, right? Clover has the Calamity Reaper, Feather as well, and a Holy Crystal. I don't think it's enough damage just right now as Vin jumps in, just to zone the other members away.
Oh no.
Dream's gonna be caught, still has dash right there, but wait, what's going on? Two fights are brewing here, and it's actually Skylar who's winning it out. Another disaster for EVOS Legends. Clover falls, Cry jumps back with the black shoes only to give his life over to Skylar. EVOS Legends, for the first time in history, might not make it to playoffs. So Jin gets a solo kill against Albert, but what is it for here? So RRQ are going to be able to take the base turret down below. They might actually be able to siege down the mid lane as well. So Jin, he needs to make a massive play here. Falling Jamun placed in just to give space over to Skylar to take the base turret down. Just as expected, they're able to siege it down with the Renner.
Ooh, what is that damage? Dreams comes in for the play though.
God. Oh! Gunned down to the ground by Skylar.
Dreams taken down just like that, and this is going to give RRQ Hoshi a bit more momentum in terms of that Lord. 2 seconds left on the clock for Albert to spawn, as Sutsujin already taken very low, being zoned away by the damage coming in from Skylar on the Renner. EVOS Legends forced to flee, forced to fall back, forced to retreat, as RRQ Hoshi once again able to secure this next Lord.
2,700 damage on a single shot. What is this quote-unquote nerfed Beatrix, man?
I told you it wasn't really nerfed.
Even on the Nibiru, Krite, he gets taken out in 2 hits.
Yeah.
Only 2 hits and he's gone.
You know why? Nibiru got buffed.
No
So
way,
yeah,
dude.
they nerfed the Renner. They nerfed the damage from Renner.
Quote-unquote nerf.
Yeah, but they added a little bit more. The hitbox is bigger. For Wesker, they nerfed the hitbox, but they added damage. So again, that's why I was kind of curious. Oh my God, it's another snipe onto Krite. But that was why I was curious. Why? Why is Beatrix not being picked up here? Right now, Skylar's proving that, you know, even after the nerfs, it's still very much viable, especially when you get through those item power spikes.
You can see EVOS Legends trying to alleviate the pressure in that bottom side. They're looking for a flank.
Oh,
They're looking for a miracle run here as EVOS Legends forced to defend.
Let's see. 3 base turrets taken down. That's going to be actually the Zaman Force popped in. Vin goes in, able to find Sutsujin. Pendragon again going in. Dreams trying to go for the miracle play. Clover cannot do anything. It's an absolute disaster. RRQ secure upper brackets. They also knock their bitter rivals down to the ground, pounding them. No mercy. EVOS, a new page in their history.